Hey, this is TJ Rojak back here with Auto 240, and we're back here with our Suzuki Verona. Taking a look here at our intake, you can find our map sensor right here, sitting right on top of the intake, and you can find our intake air temperature sensor right here, right on the side of the intake manifold. Taking a look at now in the engine bay, our Verona, you take a look here under your fuse box cover. You can find your fuel fuse and your fuel relay, and then right next to it you can find our PCM sitting right here. Going a little bit farther back from that, we can find the throttle body, which you can find not only the throttle position sensor but also the throttle actuator and the idle air control. Taking a look at the back side of our engine now, you can see our EGR right here on top, and then if you look down even further, you can see a O2 sensor down there, and then you can see an O2 sensor right up here that's really visible. And going over to our other side, you can also see the same thing on this side, an O2 sensor right here, which is that wire, and then there's one that you can't see from here that's lower down on our other catalyst. Back here again with our Verona, we're going to be taking a look at the front side of the engine, where we're going to find our injectors back here in our line behind the intake manifold. We're going to find our cam position sensor right here, bolted onto the head of the engine. We're going to come down here, take a look, and we're going to find our knock sensor bolted in right there. And then we're going to go a little left to the passenger side, and we're going to see our thermostat housing where our ECT is. So here we are back under our Verona. That right there that you can see with the skid plate, that is our fuel tank where our fuel pump is going to be. And then if you follow these lines up here, you can see that the lines and hoses come back to here being our fuel filter. I'm not going to run through all of these now, but if you go ahead and take a second to pause the video, you can take a look. This is our ECM pinout of our Suzuki Verona. Taking a look in the inside of our Verona, under the driver's side of the dashboard, you find your accelerator pedal, and you take a look up from that, you'll be able to find your APP. So yeah, that'll be right under there. Alright, so we're back here in our Verona. We got it running, and we got a scan tool hooked up. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the data and some of the IM readiness. So on here, you can already see our two O2 sensors already putting out a signal. You can see our vehicle speed obviously being 0 because the car's sitting still. If we scroll up from here, you can see our AUT already giving us a temperature reading along with the ECT with a coolant temperature. We're getting a map reading in kPa for some reason, but still getting a map reading. And we can see our engine speeds RPM right here. So we'll see that's holding steady at idle temperature, or at idle RPM, sorry. If we go ahead and go out of this, we can go ahead and take a look at our IM monitors. And we can see that we're not pulling any misfires right now. But our catalyst monitor and our evap are incomplete. Oxygen sensor's incomplete, another oxygen sensor incomplete, EGR is incomplete, all because this vehicle hasn't been run for long enough or driven for long enough. But that's okay, because it's still a vehicle, doesn't move. And last thing, alright, so we're taking a look at our codes now. This is our trans range sensor we got a code for. Another code for our transmission. Here we got a code for our ECT, which we're getting a high input for the temp. And here we're getting an intake manifold code, a MAF code, and that's it for our codes right now. So yeah, we're not getting any misfires, but this thing is throwing a few codes.